Hey folks, um, I've reached a cool spot with the Samantha fixture. I'm just about to start tacking Wendy's new road bike, the Electra. Um, I have all the tubes set up in the fixture. The only thing I've really welded is the bent section of the seat tube. And I've got the fixture all set and connected, as you can see behind me. And what I wanted to do was do a quick tour of some of the cool setup stuff that is done and an improvement that I made to the wheel tool, because I think there's some value in talking about that. So I'm going to switch the camera around and we'll take a tour. Okay, so here we are up at the front, and I've got some cool stuff. These new steel purge lines are pretty cool, it turns out, because they can anchor for some bungee to provide tension on the tube here. And I did one of those at the top as well. That's kind of neat. I didn't expect that. But what we are familiar in seeing is the jack screw underneath the down tube and top tube, so that it's resting on that surface, and that surface can be precision set so that the tube's center line is on the center line of the fixture. If there's any room to play, you can play with it there. And down here, I got these cool new 2-3-4 blocks that are kind of nice. Just on a note for the bike, I decided to ovalize the top tube, which is kind of fun. I saw one of Rob English's road bikes at a store, and it was a small bike like this, and it had an oval top tube. And I was like, wow, that's pretty wild. So I decided to do it too, because, you know, you're not doing things wrong if you're referring to Rob. Back here, I've got another jack on the chainstay yoke. Obviously, these two plates help align the bend in the chainstays. That's something that's been around since the start. And let's see, what else over here? Well, we'll get to the wheel tool. Okay, so I had a post a while back about the wheel tool, and this is a modification. So we can see on the table here the part I replaced. Now, one of the problems with this arrangement, while it can extend fairly far, it doesn't compress in as much as I'd like, because there might be times where I want to refer to this part of the stay and look at center rather than just at the very end. And I did need to make a modification just because this bike's so much smaller than my others to bring it in. But I decided to spend the time to fix this problem. If you notice, these screws are on the center line of the wheel, they're on the wheel radius, but the width ones are not. So it's kind of goofy to try to use both of them at the same time. And I wanted to fix that. So what I decided to do is shim it up here 3/8 of an inch, so that with a 3/4 block, now I'm on center there, and I can do that. Plus, well, I'll show that in a second. But you can see I can hold my width and my radial setting there. And this is pretty well set. You know, if we're looking at, let me get my calculator. So if my center line's 220 and the width of the 80/20 is 1.5 inches, that's basically 239 millimeters to the top. And if we look right there, we're basically 239 right up to the top. So I'm easily validated from the surface, but I'm actually referencing from the axle. And I've calibrated both the axle and the bottom bracket tower. Now, One of the things that comes up when we design a bike and is important, if you notice when I come right here, that tangent point to the seat tube. This is why we have bent seat tubes, because we're clearing that rear wheel, and I've set this radial setup so that it is mathematically correct, but we also confirm that our seat tube is correct. And I can swing this down and I can check my chain stays as well as my seat stays. So that I know I'm clearing at 3 points my wheel correctly. And I think that's really important, or I know that's really important and something others miss. So there you go. And this cost me a bit of time. It cost me a weekend of doing some design to simplify it and get it to do what I want. And yeah, it looks easy, but coming up with that is hard. And then another day when I really just wanted to make a bike. But, you know, it's important to start figuring this stuff out, and that's what I'm doing here. So this setup is retired. This is the new setup. I have some fasteners I need to upgrade, but it functions right now. So there you go. We've got a bike in the fixture. Let me see if I can see this. Pretty cool. The first one. And it's Wendy's, so that's even better. All right, thanks.